Can you see my screen, everyone?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
So I think in previous class, we completed instance block, right? So now we have to know what is static block. Okay. The next topic is static block. So let me increase the font size. Yeah. Fine, guys. Static block. Yeah. So what is static block? Okay. So while executing, okay, static block will be executed at the time of class loading, guys. Okay. Static block will be executed at the time of class loading. So if you want to perform any activity, right? If you want to perform any activity at the time of class loading, okay. Are you able to hear me, guys, properly? Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. So if you want to perform any activity at the time of class loading, guys, okay. So where we need to keep that activity? So inside the static block. Why static blocks will be executed at the time of class loading, guys. Okay. So static blocks will be executed at the time of class loading. So if you want to perform any activity which needs to be completed at the time of class loading, so always we have to keep that logic where, guys, under static block. Okay. So let me write those points. Then we will see what is static block completely. Okay. So now static blocks will be executed at the time of class loading. Okay. If we want to perform, any activity at the time of, right, at the time of class loading, so we need to keep that activity under static block. Okay, guys. So static block will be executed at the time of class loading. Hence, while loading a Java class, if you want to perform any activity, we have to define that inside the static block. Okay. Now, clear, right, everyone? Okay. If you want to perform any activity at the time of Java class loading, guys. Okay. We can keep at the time of Java class loading. So we need to keep that activity under static block. Fine. So now, what is the syntax of static class? Okay, syntax. Syntax of static block. Already you know, right? Instance block. What is the syntax of instance block, guys? Just open curly braces and close curly braces, right? But here, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. For syntax of static block, we need to keep static. Okay, static keyword we know, right? Static keyword and open curly braces and closed curly braces, guys. Okay, so this is the syntax of what, guys? Static block. Okay, this is the syntax of static block. So here, logic, which needs to be executed at the time of class loading. At the time of class loading. Clear? So this is the syntax of static block, guys. Okay. Now we'll see. So when we will go for static blocks and all, we will see. Okay. Fine. So now, yeah. Fine, guys. So now, see, I'm taking one example. I'm taking one example here. So now, Okay. So now class. So directly want me to write here or else? Okay, fine. We will write here. We will explain here. Then we will directly execute in Eclipse IDE. Fine. Now class we have student, guys. Okay, class student we have. Let's suppose I'm taking the students who are from CSC branch, okay, and CBIT college under affiliated by JNTU University. Fine. So now I'm taking, okay, students of CSC branch and under CBIT college and affiliated by JNTU University. Right. So now tell me how it would be the class structure. Tell me, guys. String. Tell me. String, first of all, what? First of all, university, right? University name. University name. Right. First of all, university name we need to keep, right? Follow uni name. Okay. Like that I will keep, guys. This is university name. Fine. So now, next one, string college name. CLG name. Okay. College name. Right? Next, tell me. What are the member variables should be? String, college name, branch name, right? Branch name. Fine. Yeah. Next.
Yes.
Now, student ID, right? Student ID means what? Int. STD ID. Student ID. Fine. Next one, what? After student ID, string student name, right? STD name, student name. Okay. Next, string subject, right? First year subject.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Okay, we'll keep these are the properties in the class. Okay. These are the properties in the class, guys. Fine. So now I'm closing the class. Clear, everyone? So now, if you see this class, okay, now, yeah. For CBIT college under CSC branch, let's suppose we have a 120 students, right? 120 students. So finally, what I need to do? I need to insert, I need to store all these 120 students records into database. Am I right or not? Okay. So for that, what I need to do? I need to create object for each student. Am I right or not? Come on, guys. Tell me. I need to create object for each
Yes, sir.
student. Okay. So now here I'm taking public static void main method and string args. Okay. String args. So now here I'm creating objects of one by one. So first of all, I'm creating object for student. Okay. The first student, ST1. Okay. The first student object I'm creating. Fine. Student. Now, how to create, guys, student objects here? We need what?
Student.
How can we create? Constructor. Right?
Constructor.
Okay. I'm taking one constructor. Tell me, you have to tell. Constructor already you know, right? Student. Which one first of all? University name, right?
String. Yeah, string.
Uni name, right? Uni name only, right? Sorry. String uni name.
Yeah.
String uni name. Next one. String
College name.
KLG name. Next one.
String branch name.
String branch name. Okay. Next one. Int. Right? Int.
Student ID.
In student ID.
Next one. String
Student name.
Student name. Next one. String
Subject.
subject name. Subject.
Subject only.
Subject. Fine. So these are the what? Argument types. So now in the constructor, how to do this dot? Uni name is equal to uni name, right?
Uni name.
Fine. Next, this dot. Tell me.
This dot.
Branch
College
name.
name.
College name. Sorry. College name equals to college name.
College
Come on,
name.
guys, everyone.
We start branch name.
Branch name equal to branch name.
Branch name equals to
Branch
branch
name.
name. Okay. Next one. This dot. What
Student
it is?
ID.
Student ID equal to
STD ID equals to STD ID. Come on. Next one. This dot. What next?
student name.
Student name.
Right? STD
STD name.
equals to STD name. Fine. Next one. This dot. Subject, right?
Subject.
Subject equals to subject. Yeah, constructor also completed. Fine. So
Yeah,
now here, tell me first of all what university name.
University name.
What is the university here? JNTU. Okay. Next, what is the college name? CBIT. Right? CBIT. Next one. Branch name, right? Branch name
Branch
CSC. Okay. Next.
Student ID.
Student ID 101. Yeah. Next.
Student name.
Student
name.
Student name. Okay. Sai Teja. Next.
Subject.
Student name. Next subject.
Subject.
Subject. What is the subject again? Oh, CO. Computer organization we have, right? CO. Computer organization is the subject. Fine. Only 6 are the parameter types, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now these are the argument values. Now student object is ready. Right. Now student object is ready. Fine, guys. Student object is ready. Now, how the student objects are here? See, now one student object is created here. Fine. One student object is created. So here, now tell me what are the values, guys? First one is college name.
College name.
University name. So JNTU, right? Data.
Yes.
Only I am placing data, guys. JNTU.
Name.
Next one CBIT college. Next one CSC branch. 101. Sai Teja. Next one. CO. So this is the one object, right? So now for this object, what is the reference variable?
ST1.
ST1 is the reference variable. This reference variable pointing to this object. Fine. Now one object is created. So now in the same way, I created what? One more object. Okay. In the same way, I created one more object, guys. Fine. Now tell me student ST2 is equal to new student of here what? For this student also, right? University name is same, right? JNTU. Am I right or not? Next, college name also same, right? College name also same, right? And branch name also same, right? Right? ID will be different, 102 no. Now, student name is, okay, now Rajesh. Okay, student name is Rajesh. Now, this one subject is, let's suppose, Java. Right? Java is the subject. So now, one more object is created. Okay? So now, for this, one more object is created like this. Now, this time, tell me what is the data? Same. JNTU. Okay? CBIT. CSC. 102.
Rajesh
Java. Am I right?
Java.
So now, what is the reference variable, guys, pointing to this one? ST2.
ST2.
Right? Now, in the same way, how many students we have? 120 students we have. Right? How many students we have, guys? 120 students we have. So now, right? So like this, 120 students we have, guys. Okay. So finally, I'm creating the last student. Okay. Now, tell me student ST 120, right? The last student name. Okay. Now is equal to new student of, okay, same. For this student also, university name is same, right? College name is same, right?
Yes.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
Even branch name also same. Okay. Now ID 120. I mean 1120 something, guys. Okay, fine. Now I mean student name. Okay. So student name Surya. Fine. So now what is the subject? We have operating system OS. Right? So now this is the one more object.
Okay.
So now what happened? The same way we have one more object here.
New.
The same way, like this, we have few more objects, and finally, one object is created here. This is what 120th object. Okay. Now, what is the data here? We have same data, same university, same college, and same branch, and ID 1 and 20, and here Surya is the student name, and finally OS is the subject. What is the font size we selected, guys? 20, yeah?
Yes.
Huh? 20 only, right? 18.
Yeah,
Huh?
yes, sir.
Okay. So now OS. Not 20, I think. 20, huh? 22. Fine. So now OS, guys. Okay. So now what is the reference variable pointing to this one? ST
120.
120.
I mean, final student, 120th student. Okay. For this object is for what? 120th object. Now, if you see here, okay, if you see here, what we observed, guys, here, see, if you create object, okay, the first object, what is the university name? JNTU. Okay. What is the branch, college name? CBIT. What is the branch name? CSE. Right? So the JNTU university name and college name and branch name, these three are common for each and every object or not? If you create 120 students,
Yes,
if you take any student, so JNTU university name, college name, and branch name, these three are same for each and every object. Am I right or not?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. So now here, if you see, if all are same, then if you treated these variables, okay, university name, branch name, and what do you call college name, if you treated these three objects as an instance variable, here these three objects are what, guys? Instance variables, right? String, university name, college name, branch name. These three are what? Instance variable. Am I right or not? Hello,
Yes, sir.
come on, guys. These three are what?
Yes.
Instance variable.
Same.
Instance variable means what? For each and every object, there is a separate instance variable will be copied. Okay? There is separate copy of instance variable will be copied for each and every object. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Okay, now
Yes.
for here, JN2 means what? String type. String type means what? For this variable, we need to allocate memory for, okay, for this variable, we need to allocate some memory or not?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay,
Some memory.
where we need to allocate? At heap level.
Heap.
Where the objects will be stored? In the heap area.
Heap.
Am I right or not? So
Yeah.
in the heap area, where these instance variable will be part of object only, right? So for each and every instance variable, we need to allocate memory. Am I right or not? So
Yes.
now, what is the first one? University name. That is string type. For string type, we need to allocate some memory. The next one, CBIT. CBIT is what, guys?
String type.
String type. So for that also what we need to allocate some memory. Am I right or not? The CSC, that is also string type. We need to allocate for memory. So like this, how many times you have to allocate? For each and every object, we have to allocate. Am I right or not? So for
Yeah,
this
right.
class, how many students we have? 120
120.
students. For each and every student object, you have to allocate memory. Okay, at the heap area. So unnecessarily, right? See, these are the things what common for each and every object. Am I right or not?
Yeah.
These three, JNTU and CBIT and CSC. I mean, college, university name and college name and branch name. See, these three both are what? I mean, all these three are what, guys? Common for each and every object. Okay, if it is a common, why we need to declare them as a part of object, guys? Why can't we go with static variables? So static variables means what? When we will go for static variables, already we discussed again, right? So we spent a lot
Yes.
of time over there. Static
Yeah.
variables means what? Static variables will be created
Common.
at class level. Okay, only one copy of static variable will be copied at class level. The same copy will be shared to all the objects. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Okay. Now static variables what common for each and every object what we are going to create. Okay.
Yes.
So for static variable, where the memory will be allocated at method
Class
area.
level area.
Okay, at class level, at method area, memory will be allocated, guys, not in heap area. Understand? So now, if you create object, if you declare these three variables as static variables, then only one copy will be created. Am I right or not? So now, let's
Yes.
suppose. So now, so now here, instead of instance variable, here I'm creating what? See, let's suppose these are
Static.
string types, guys. So let's suppose if you have a branch code. So for every university, we have university number, right? Am I right or not? University number we have. College name means for every college there is a college code or college number. Every branch there is a branch code, like that we have, right? So let's suppose for this university also, if you are maintaining university code. So university code means what? It could be integer. Am I right or not? So for now, if you take university code or university number means what? Which type you have to take? Integer, right? For integer, if you create 120 objects, for each and every object, what we need to maintain? University code. But university code is same for all the objects, right? So now university code means what? Integer. Integer means how many bytes, guys? Tell me how many bytes? 4 bytes,
8.
right?
4 bytes.
4 bytes, right? 4 bytes means what? 4 into
8.
8, 32 bits.
32 bit.
32 bit.
Right? So 32 bits means what? For each and every object, we need to allocate 32 bits for that variable to hold the value for that variable. Am I right or not? So
Yeah, right.
unnecessarily wasting memory, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that kind of that variable where we need to, I mean, which kind of variable it should be? It should be static variable, right? Because it is common for each and every object what we created, right? Already we discussed, right? So which variable we need to go for static variable? Which variables we need to declare as a instance variable? Already we discussed, guys. Okay, the variables which are common for each and every object. So we need to declare those variables as what? Static variables.
Static.
Okay, so the variable which is okay, which is unique for object to object. Okay, a separate copy of data is created object to object. Such type of variable we need to declare them as what? Instance variable.
Instance variable.
Okay, so now see here what instead of JNTU, CBIT, CSC, I mean university name, college name, and branch name, instead of defining them as instance variable, what we need to define them as, guys, here as a static variable, right? Static.
Yeah.
Guys, here we don't have space. That's what I'm putting. Okay. Here, static. This is what? Static variable.
Static.
This one also what? Static. Fine.
Yeah.
Right. Now, university name, college name, and branch name. These three are what, guys? Static variable. So now if you create static variable means what will happen?
In method area.
Now, here I'm crossing, guys. Okay. Now, in the heap object, we don't have these things, guys. Now, these variables are what? Static variables, not instance variable. So that's what I'm removing from instance area. Clear?
Yes.
I'm crossing, guys. Okay. Fine. So like this, now I'm removing all these from instance area. Now, where is created? One copy
Method
created at
area.
class level. Right? For
Yeah.
all the static variables, one copy will be created at the class level. Now here, the data will be there. What is the first one? JNTU.
JNU,
Next one, CBIT.
CBIT,
Next one,
CSC.
CSC. Right? Now, this copy will be shared to each and
Shared
every
to
all the
object.
objects.
Okay? Here also it will share. For this object also it will share. For this object also it will share. Am I right?
Yeah.
Like this it will share, guys. Fine? Now, only one object is created. I mean, only one copy will be created. Where it will be created? At class level. So the same copy will be applicable for what?
All the
For
objects.
each and every object. So here, we are minimizing the memory or not?
Yeah.
Right? Instead of allocating memory for each and every object, for each and every column, each and every variable name here, only we created one copy, and that copy will be shared with all the objects. So definitely here what we are minimizing the memory, right? Memory management will be improved here. Am I right or not? Come on, guys. Everyone understood? Clear?
Yes, sir.
What about remaining people?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes,
now, yeah, fine. So now, here what? So for this class, okay, let me write in directly. Shall we go for Eclipse IDE? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you understood, right? What is the problem here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this what is the problem here? If you define them as instance variable, you understood, right? So we need to declare them as what? Static variable. Right. So if you declare static variable, for instance variable means so once while creating the object only, we need to initialize the instance variable. For that, what we will use? Constructor.
Constructor.
Right? In the constructor, we will perform initialization logic of an object. Am I right or not? Okay.
Yes.
So now here what?
Yes.
What is the constructor? This one.
Student.
Okay. Now we need to remove, right? We need to remove what? University name we need to
College.
do. College name also we need to remove here as a
Branch
argument
name.
parameters. Branch name also we need to remove. And this one also we need to cross, guys. Okay. Now these are what? Not instance variable. These are what? Static variables. Right? So we need to remove these three from what? From constructor. Am I right or not? In the constructor, what we will do? Initialization of an object. Right? In constructor, what type of logic we will place, guys? Only initialization of an object. So here what? Initialization of an object means what are the object variables here? Student ID, student name, subject. These three are what? Object variables. So we need to perform, we have to write the logic to initialize the values to these variables under what? Constructor. So that's what I'm keeping what? These three variables. Fine? Now, what else we have? Static variables we have, right? University name, college name, and branch name. So we need to initialize values to whom now? Static variables. So where we have to initialize? Understand? Hello?
Yeah.
The static.
Understand what is the problem here? So we cannot initialize in under constructor. If you initialize under constructor means what will happen? For each and every object, a separate copy of these variables will be created. But here what? These variables are what? Common for each and every object. So if you place under constructor, for each and every object, a separate copy of instance variable will be created. Unnecessarily, we are wasting memory. Am I right or not? So that's what we cannot keep under constructor. We cannot initialize the values under constructor for these three variables because these three are what now? Static variables. So now we need to initialize these static variables. Am I right or not? Understand? What is the
Yeah,
problem
okay.
here? Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now we need to initialize the static variables, right? So now where we need to initialize, right? So there is a static block. Under static block, okay, we can initialize the static variables, guys. So static variables means static block when it will be executed at the time of class loading only. Okay. At class, at how many times it will load? Only one time it will load.
One
Right
time.
or not? So at the time
Yes.
of that particular class, all the static blocks will be executed. So if you keep this initialization logic, static variables initialization logic under static block, the static block will be executed happily. The values will be initialized to static variables. Understand or not? So one copy will be ready. At the time of class loading, one copy of static variables will be ready, guys. Now, which is ready to share what? All the objects what we created. Object when we are going to create object. To create object means first of all what we need to do? Class has to be loaded. Am I right or not?
Yeah.
Once the class is loading into the JVM memory, after that only what? Okay. So JVM will call our main method. From main method, if you want, you can create object of that class. So before creating object, what we are doing now? Class has to be loaded first. Class is loading to JVM memory, then only we can create object, right?
Yeah.
Right. So at the time of class loading itself, one copy of static variable will be created and it will be ready. The copy of static variable will be shared to all the objects what we are going to create.
Yeah. Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So in this purpose, we will go for what, guys? Static variable, static blocks. Okay. For this particular purpose, we will go for what? Static block. We will see, guys. Other things also we will see. Now, let me write example in Eclipse IDE. Hope you people understood what is the problem. Okay. Why we need to go for static block, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So now solve this. Eclipse IDE. So now, what is the project we created, guys?
Static.
Static, where it is? Yeah, static block demo. So this is the project we created, right? So now here I'm creating what? New class. Okay. So here package name I'm giving calm dot. Tell me calm dot vector dot station. Right? So this is the package name. Class name I'm giving what? The same class name. Static block, right? BLOCK. Static block demo. Something. This is the class name. Right? I mean PSVM also I created. Right. So now C package com.textstation and static block demo. Now tell me first guys. Private static string uniname. So now this is the one. Next one. Private static. Next one is what, guys? String
College name.
college name. College name. Next one. Private static static. Static string what? Next one, branch name,
Branch.
right? Branch
Yes.
name. Fine. So these are what static variables. Now instance variable created. Private. First one int std id. Next private string std name. Next one private string subject. Fine. These are the three variables. Am I right or not? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now if you want for university name like private static, okay, int universe code, okay, universe code, fine, universe code or universe number something, universe code, okay, university code, fine. These are what static variables. Now what I need to create, guys? I need to create constructor. Am I right or not? Just simply select,
Yes.
right click, source, generate constructor using fields. Okay, I'm generating one constructor. Fine. Constructor ready, right? Constructor ready. Am I right or not? Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The constructor ready.
Yes.
So now this is
Yes, sir.
what public static void main string args. Okay. So now if you create object of this class, okay. So now I mean in the constructor we are performing what? Initialization of instance variable. Now we have what? Static variables, right? For static variable, what we need to do? We need to perform initialization. For static variable initialization, where we need to perform under static block.
Static
How
block.
to create static block? So this is the way. The syntax: static, open curly braces and closed curly braces. Now tell me what is the one, guys? The first one, uni name, right? Uni name equals to uni name. Tell me. Uni name equals to what is the university name?
JNT.
JNTU.
JNT.
Okay. So now JNTU is the university name. Fine. So in the same way, next one is what, guys? University code. University code. Let's suppose university code 1001. Okay. Now what is the next one, guys? College name. CLG name. College name here what? CBIT.
CBIT.
Okay. So fine. So next one what? Branch name. Branch name. What is the branch name here? CSC.
Yes.
CSE.
Fine. So now we are initializing where? Under static. Clear? So now in the public static void main method, now here if you want to create, right, static block demo. Okay. So now here instead of static block demo, we have to create what? Student. Right, guys? Put student, guys. Fine. So now here also student class. Okay, this one also student only. Where is rename, right? Rename option here.
Refactor.
Refactor, where it is? Do you see refactor here? Yeah, what is this?
సేవ్ యాజ్ ఉంటుంది కదా సార్ అక్కడ మార్చుకోవచ్చు
Refactor, okay.
ఫైల్స్.
Rename. Here what? Student. Okay, student, right? So now, fine. Yeah. So now, just I renamed the class name, guys. That's it. Okay. Fine. So now, Here, tell me, here we can create what? Objects, right?
Student,
Student st1 is
ST1,
equal to
new
new
student,
student of, tell me, first of all, what? 101. ID,
name,
student ID 101. Next one, name. Okay. Next one, name means what? Something called Ramesh. Student name. Next is what? Subject, right? Java. Fine. This is what? Student one. Fine. No, st2. So here what? Let's suppose I'm putting Ganesh. Here subject is operating system, OS. Am I right? So like this, I can create what? N number of objects. Okay. Student st120. So student of here what? 102, right? ID. Here what? Let's suppose 120. Here what? Suresh. Now subject is computer organization, C1. Okay? Clear, everyone?
yeah, clear.
Okay. So now for these objects, okay, student ID name and subject name only we are assigning. Okay. So now here I'm putting sys out. Okay. Here what? Just I want to print all the for student one. Okay. For student one, what I want to print here? First of all, what? University name?
Yes. Yes.
Uni name. Okay. Just I'm putting university name, guys. Here, how can we put a plus?
Plus
Tell me.
uni name,
Hmm?
uni name, uni name,
Uni name. This is what? Static variable. Directly I can access, right? From
yeah,
static area. Okay. But
so
actually, what is the recommended way? By using class name.
class name,
How to access static variable? By using
class
class name.
name,
This is the recommended way, guys. Okay. But here what? I'm accessing directly within the class. So within the class means what? Directly we can access. You don't need to use class name. Clear? If you want,
yeah,
you can
clear.
put class name also. There is no issue. Okay. So that's what I'm putting what directly I'm accessing. Okay. Now, university name is done. Next one is what, guys? After university name.
University code,
Let me put
university code,
plus. Let me give some space. And after that here.
university code,
Giving university and space.
yeah, space,
After space.
plus
Right. Here only I can put. Right. Tell me. So next what? University name. Next one.
university
What is it?
code,
University code. University code. University code. Right. So university codes dot tell me.
plus
University
university code,
code. Okay. Next one.
okay,
Next plus.
college name,
Next
college name,
college name. Right. College name.
plus college name, CLG name,
College name also static variable, right?
yes,
N capital. I think. Fine. So now
fine,
after college name, what we have?
Student.
College name. Next one. Student ID.
Branch
Student
name.
name. Student
No,
ID. Yeah?
no. Branch name.
Branch name.
Sorry,
Branch
branch name. Fine. Tell me. Branch name. Space. Okay. Branch name. Branch name also what, guys? Static variable. Right?
Yes.
So fine. After branch name, what we have?
Student ID.
Student ID. Student ID. Right? For student ID, what we need to do is this is what student ID. Come on. So
ST1.
student ID. Here what I need to do? ST1
ST1 dot
dot student ID.
student
Right?
ID. Yes.
STD ID. Yeah? STD ID. Fine. So
Yeah,
now
fine.
student ID also done. The next one, what we have? Student name.
Student name.
Student name.
Student name. I think here we have to give some space. Fine. Student name, right?
Yes.
Student name. Tell me ST1
Plus
dot
ST1 dot student name.
student name, right? ST name. Fine. So now, final one, what we have, guys? Student subject, subject
Yes,
only, right? Subject. ST1 dot what? Subject. Fine. Now,
Yeah,
if you
fine.
see only ST1, okay, ST1 deleted data only we are asking. So now, run as Java application. University name, JNTU, university code, okay, college name, branch name, student ID, student name. Understand? Subject. Everyone, can you see? Getting
Yes.
or not?
Yeah, yes. Yeah,
Yes,
Here,
sir.
Yes.
college name, university code, and branch name. So these are what? Static variable. So will be shared with all the objects or not?
Yes.
Okay. Now this is what ST1 related object data I'm printing, right? No, same
Yes.
thing. I'm copy here. I'm printing what, guys?
ST2.
ST2 object. Already we created ST2 object also, right? So now I'm placing it. So now instead of ST1 here, what?
ST2.
Clear? Everyone.
Yeah,
Yes.
Now let me execute. See now, the second one, the same university name JNTU, university code, college name, branch name, and student ID 102, student name now Ganesh, subject OS. Clear?
yeah, clear.
So what will happen if you see this output? What you can understand? The same, okay, static variable will be the same copy of static variable will be shared to each and every object.
All.
Understand?
Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Come on, guys. Clear?
Yeah,
Yes,
clear.
sir.
Okay. So now,
Yes, sir.
no, no. Huh? Someone is saying no. Who is that? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
yes,
now,
yes.
static variable. So here I'm putting what? Sys out, guys. Okay. Here, let me write static block. Static block execution. Static block execution. Here, public static void main. From where the execution will start, guys? Where the execution will start?
Main method.
From main method.
From main method, right? Main method
Yes.
execution. Main method execution, right? So now, if you see, before main method execution, static block will be
Static
executed first, guys. So why? At the time of class loading only, the static block is executing. Which class? Student class. At the time of class loading, at the time of the student class loading itself, right? The static block is executing. Understand? At the time of class loading only, right? Static block will be executed. That's what
Yes, sir.
we discussed, right? So after class loading, then JVM will call what? Main method. See now, if you want to see that one, see. And as Java application, see first, which block is executing first?
Static block.
Static block execution. Later, main method execution.
Main method.
Clear?
Yes,
Yeah,
Anish.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Everyone. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, so like this, okay, we will use this static blocks, guys. Okay. So to initialize static variables, we will use static blocks. So actually, in our application, okay, static variable initialization, most of the times we will initialize the static variables under one constants class, guys. Okay, static variables means what? So now, see, if you see for this example, for student class, university name, university code, college name, and branch name. These four are what? Common. Am I right or not? Right?
Yes.
Common
Yeah.
for each and every object. Means what? Fixed. University name is fixed, right? University code also fixed, right? College
Yes.
name also fixed, right? For entire their 4 years graduation, btech graduation. And branch name also fixed, right?
Yeah.
We cannot change it, right? The entire for 4 years graduation. Can we change?
Yes, sir.
We cannot change, right? So we cannot change means what? This variable, the value, what we
Constant.
are assigning, university name is JNTU. That cannot be changed. University code something 1001. It cannot be changed. College name CBIT cannot be changed until their graduation complete, right? Branch name CSC cannot be changed. Means what? These variables,
Constant.
how can we declare? Yeah, these variables are what
Constant.
now? Constants. Constants means what? How can we declare constants variables? By keeping final keyword. Already we
Final
discussed,
keyword.
guys. Come on, already we discussed. Okay, don't worry. We will discuss one more time while discussing parent and child relation. Okay, final variable we will discuss, final class we will discuss, final method also we will discuss. Okay, now, so here what, if anything will not change, okay, so then those variables we will declare them as what, guys? Final variable. Am I right or not? So now if you declare here private static final, if you declare final, okay, here also final. Final means what? We cannot change. Am I right or not? So once you declare final variables means what? We cannot change, guys. Okay. So now university name here, while declaring itself, if you made here JNTU, this is fixed. Okay. So you cannot change. If someone is trying to change this university name, what we will get? We will get compile time error. Am I right or not? So we cannot change what? Final variable. If some other class, they try to modify the member data. If they want to modify the member data, if they try to modify the member data, they cannot do, because these are what? Final variables. Once we declare final variables means what? Entire class
We
cannot change the values. Entire the program, we cannot change the values of this final variable. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what all these things. Okay. If it is value will not be changed, so always we are keeping them as what, guys? Under static variable, final static variables only. Okay, here not string, right? So like this, okay, we are keeping, guys. And I mean in real time. So college name is what? CBIT, right? CBIT. Okay, branch name is what, guys?
CSC.
CSC. Okay, so now in the static block also we will not assign these things. Okay. So now where we will define these ways? In class itself. Okay, we will create one separate class, something constants. In the constants class, for application, what are the variables we are declare them as constants? We will keep all the constants under where? one constant class. Okay, whenever we require those variables, we will use that class, and by using that class name, we can refer those
Data.
variables, because these variables are what? Static variables. Guys, give me 1 minute, huh? Just 1 minute. Understand, guys? So in the real time, if any variable which will not be changed, if any variable value will not be changed, entire program, we will define them as what, guys? Private static final. Okay, and we will create one class, and we will place all these variables under one class, and whenever we required, okay, let's suppose in department class, I want what? This variable, university name I want. So in the department class, directly I can call what? I can
Class
refer
name.
student class, student dot university name, so that I can get what? This value to over there. Am I right or not?
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, so like that also we can define, guys. Okay, but here what? So we are discussing just a static variable, right? So for static variables, like that also we can add. Here my intention is what, guys?
Static.
dpit. Let me remove all this. Fine. Now static block. How can we uncomment, guys? Static block. How can we uncomment? I commented, right? How can we uncomment in Eclipse IDE? Anyone knows? I need to uncomment. Do you have any shortcut to uncomment? Fine. Let me remove. Fine. Yeah. This is what, guys? Static block. So here what we are using static block to initialize the static variables. Clear, everyone? Hello.
Yeah, clear.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yes,
I
sir.
explained one more thing here. If anything, see, these are the what common for each and every object. So this JNTU code and CBIT, CSE, we cannot change. So if you are not able to change, means these values are fixed, means what? Instead of defining them as a static variable and assigning them in static block, try to assign them as what? Final variables. Try to treat them as what? Final variables. Private static final. If you keep private static final, means what? These are the ones fixed for entire programming. The values we cannot change. Okay. So while declaring them, while declaring these variables, by that time also we will initialize the values, hard coded values. Am I right or not? Whenever we require, we can use them. So that is the practice actually we usually do in real time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but like this also we can do. This is what static variable initialization, where we can do static variable initialization under static.
Block.
Clear? Okay. So now, and one more thing I will explain you actually in static block. So now, see, so Java. So Java program means what? When you install JSC modules, we will get what? JSC module related libraries. Am I right or not? Okay. JSC module libraries we will get right. See here, JRE system libraries. These are the what? So let's suppose Java compiler. See, these are the what packages, right? If you open these packages, these are the what classes. Who provided these classes? Who provided these classes?
JVM.
JVM. Understand? Java people provided, not JVM. Java people provided. Okay. So now, like this, these are the what guys? Libraries. Who provided these are the libraries? Java people provided. Okay. So now, for Java, while developing Java, internally they are using what? C and C++ guys. The native libraries only they are using. Understand what I'm saying here? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So this
Yes,
is
sir.
the Java program, right? So this is the Java software, right? Who developed this Java software? So Java people
Java
develop.
people.
While developing this Java software, so internally what they are using? C and C++. Understand? So now,
Yeah,
while
okay.
loading while loading these classes, okay, they will load what? Native libraries. Understand? Because what? While writing these Java classes, so internally they are using what? Native library. Understand? Native libraries means what? Either C libraries or C++ libraries. These are the libraries they are using. So that's what, if you see that what do you call the Java people provided classes, internally if you open that class, internally if you see the static block, they are loading, okay, native libraries guys in the underwire static block, because static block when it will be executed at the time of class loading.
Yes.
Understand? So let's suppose we have a thread class. Understand? Or else we have a system class. So when the system class is loading, so by that time, okay, internally to write the system class, they are using what? C libraries and C++ libraries. Understand? So while the class itself, while the loading the class itself under static block of that particular class, they are keeping the logic what? To load system libraries. Understand? Hello?
Yeah, okay.
Clear, right, everyone?
Yeah,
So
clear.
now here if you
Yeah.
see java.io, do we have? There it is. Java.io module. You can see guys, okay, those things you can see. Where is java.io guys here? This is what? Java.compile. Yeah, here java.base we have, right? Here, if you see java.io, and here, you see any class, I think not java.io, right? Thread class means java.lang. Java.lang. Do you see any thread class here? Thread. Okay. Here, if you see, do we have any static block here? See, static block. Can you see static block here? Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Here, register natives. Okay.
Okay.
See, register natives. Register native means what? So the native libraries. Under this method, they are loading what? Native libraries. If you see this method, register natives. Okay, public static now void register natives is the method. So enter this method. If you see, it is somewhere. Okay. So under this method, what guys? See in the static block, what they are loading? Register natives.
Register
Natives means
natives.
what? Native libraries they are loading. So this is what thread class. Who created this thread class? Java people created. See now how they are using for static block to load the native libraries.
Native.
Okay. In the same way, if you open system class also, you see static block. See register natives.
Yes.
Clear? In the same way, if you open string class, the string class also, do you see any static block here? See, I think here maybe they are not using. So fine, right? You understood, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for each and every, I mean the Java class what we are using. So in the Java class also, Java software development also, what they are using internally, native libraries. So that time in the static block, in the particular class, in the static block, they are loading what, guys? Native libraries under static block. Okay. So this is the one of the example when we will use static block means. Clear, everyone? And one more thing I will explain you in the real time. So let's suppose our Java application wants to communicate with what, guys? Our Java application wants to communicate with database. Understand? Java application wants to communicate with database. So there are a few steps has to follow, guys. So first of all, what are the steps? Okay. Now I'm telling you first step. Okay. First one, what? We need to load the JDBC driver, guys. Load the JDBC driver class. Load the JDBC driver class. So next one, okay, once you load the JDBC driver class, the second step what we need to do, we need to get the connection object. Okay, driver manager dot get connection. So this is the second step. Okay, I know you don't know anything about this JDBC. Just I'm explaining, just listen. Okay, when we will use the static block means. Next. Okay, once we get the connection object from driver manager, after that what we will do, we will create statement object, either normal statement object, okay, statement, either normal statement or prepared statement or callable statement, something. What we need to prepare statement object, that is the fourth step. The next that is the third step. What is the fourth step? Once we get the prepare statement object, then we have to write the query, execute the query. Execute the query. Okay, SQL query. Whether it's select query or insert query, we have right. So yeah, execute the query. That is the fourth step. What is the fifth step? Okay, so execute the query. Then fifth step is what? We need to get the result set object. Okay, result set object base. Okay, now in the result set, what we have? The data. By using result set object, so we will do what are the things if we want to perform. I mean, we need to retrieve the data or something, right? So we will use that result set of result set object contains what? The database data. Clear, everyone? So these are the things we need to follow. Okay, while interacting with our Java application. If Java application wants to interact with database means what? These are the steps we have to follow. First of all, what? We load the JDBC driver class. Okay. And after that, driver manager dot get connection. We need to get the connection object. Once we load the driver class, after that, what? We need connection object for the database. Once we get the connection object, we need to what? Create statement object. Once we create the statement object, after that, what we need to do? We need to execute the query. Okay, if you execute the query, then finally what we will get? Result set object we will get. Okay, and result set object we have what? The complete database data. I mean, let's suppose student table. In student table, we need what? Student records. All the student records where it will be available now under result set object. Okay, so by using that result set object, we will get the all the student data, and we are using the data to what? To write other business logics. Fine, everyone clear? Now, see now, if you see here, driver manager dot get connection. Okay, hey driver manager, can you please give me connection object? Okay, now which connection object it is giving? Understand? So here database means what? Oracle database we have, MySQL database we have, DB2 database we have, Sybase database we have. Like that we have different databases. Understand or not? So now we are asking what? Driver manager dot get connection. So which connection object it will give? Oracle database driver, Oracle database connection object it will give, or MySQL database connection object it will give, or Sybase database connection object it will give. Which connection object it will give? Understand?
We need to
So
that
for that reason, what we need? So we need to load, we need to register this JDBC driver class with driver manager. Understand? We need to register this JDBC driver class with driver manager, guys. So JDBC driver means what it is here. For each and every database, okay, there is a JDBC driver class. Let's suppose for Oracle database. For Oracle database, there is a driver class, guys. Okay, Oracle JDBC driver or something. Okay, so for like that, for MySQL database also there is a driver class. For each and every database, there is a separate driver class. Don't worry, guys. I will explain you while discussing JDBC. What is the driver classes and everything? That is a big story, guys. Okay, we will spend a lot of time over there. Okay, now just I want to explain you when we are using static block. That's it. That's what. Just remember. That's it. What I'm saying here now. Just listen the points what I'm explaining you. Okay. We will see in detail while discussing JDBC. Now, so here what? Load the JDBC driver class. For each and every database, what? We have a JDBC driver class. Okay. For Oracle also we have what? JDBC driver class. So now, which database I want to communicate with my application? Oracle database. In the Oracle database, we have what? Student is a table. Now, I want to communicate with Oracle database under student table. I want to retrieve the data from the student table. Okay, that is my what? My requirement here. So now, which JDBC driver class I need to load? Which JDBC driver I need to use now? I want to communicate with Oracle database. So Oracle JDBC driver I need to use. Understand? So now, Oracle JDBC driver I am loading. Okay. So now, after that, what I am asking? Driver manager dot get connection. If you call, hey driver manager, can you please give me connection? It will give. Which connection it will give? Right? We don't know. Because what? Driver manager. So before asking connection object, we need to register this JDBC driver class with what? Driver manager. If you register this JDBC driver class with driver manager, then only when you ask driver manager, can you please give me get connection means, that time it will give what? Oracle database connection it will give. Understand? If you register this Oracle JDBC driver with driver manager, when you ask driver manager to get connection means, that time it will give what? One connection object it will give. Which connection object it will give? Oracle database connection object it will give. Understand? So before that, what we need to do? We need to register this driver class with driver manager. Understand or not? After first step, guys. After first step, what we need to do? We need to register this JDBC driver class with what? Driver manager. Hello?
Yeah.
Come on. So now, when you load the JDBC driver class, automatically in the driver class, in the JDBC driver class itself, okay, they are writing one static block, guys. In the static block, okay, which logic they are adding? Load this particular driver class, register with driver manager. That logic, who will take in care? The JDBC driver class. So who provided this JDBC driver class? Oracle people provided. Understand? As a programmer, we are not writing the JDBC driver class. We are who is going to write this JDBC driver class? Oracle people are driving. Oracle people are implementing this JDBC driver class. Oracle people are writing. Okay. So while writing that class in the JDBC driver class, there is a static block, guys. In the static block, what is the logic they are keeping, guys? Register this driver class with driver manager. Okay, where under static block they are keeping. Now, when you load this driver class, how can we load? Manually, how to load? By using class.forName. Come on, already we discussed, right? Class.forName of this ODBC driver class. When you load this ODBC driver class by using class.forName, so by that time, what will happen? This JDBC driver class will be loaded into the JVM memory. So while loading this JDBC driver class into the JVM memory, which blocks will execute? Static block will be executed automatically. Right? In the static block, what is the logic? It is there. Register this driver class with driver manager. Right? So now, at the time of class loading itself, automatically driver class has been registered with driver manager. Clear?
Okay.
So after that, what directly you can call driver manager.get connection. If you call driver manager.get connection means what? You will get connection object. Why you will get connection object? which connection object you will get? Oracle database connection object you will get. Why? Because at the time of class loading itself, this Oracle driver has been registered with driver manager under static block. Understand? They have written the logic under static block. Hello? Clear?
Yeah, okay.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Now, if you see here, now let's suppose I have student class. Under student class, my student class want to interact with database driver. I mean database. Okay. My student class want to get the data from student table. So now in the student class, what are the operations has to perform in order to interact with database? First step, load the JDBC driver class. Right? Next one, driver manager dot get connection. Second step. Next one, third step. Prepare statement object. Now these three are what common for each and every class or not?
Yeah.
See, execute the query is different. So query means
Yes.
it will be different. Student class means what? We need to interact with
Student name.
student table. Select star from student. Let's suppose in the same way employee class we have. I need to interact with the employee table. For employee class, what is the query I need to use? Select star from employee.
Employee.
Now here what? Queries are different. For student class, there is a separate query. For employee class, there is a separate query. For department class, there is a separate query. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Okay. So queries are different. After that, what we need to do? Execute the query method we need to call. Execute query. There is a method, guys. Execute query method we need to call by using what? Statement object. If you call execute query, then it will give you what? Result set object. Okay. Now, step 4 and step 5 are vary from the class to class, functionality to functionality. But first 4 steps, load the JDBC driver class, okay, connection, get the connection object and create the statement object. All these 3 are what? Common for each and every class.
Same to all this.
Same for each and every functionality.
Yes.
Each and every class which needs to be interact with database. Hello? Understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, instead of writing all these common, okay, common, common statements, instead of writing each and every class, why can't we write only one time at the time of class loading? Understand?
Yeah.
At the time of class loading, we can write,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yeah.
At the time of class loading only, just if you write all these things, so at the time of class loading, you will get the driver, that particular JDBC driver class is loaded, and the driver class has been registered with the driver manager class, and after that you will get the connection object, and after that you will create statement object. Now all these things will be ready, right? Where at the time of class loading only. Now let's suppose our student class we have, guys. Our student class wants to interact with what? Database software to get the student records. So now in the student class, in the static block, write all these common logic, like to load the JDBC driver class and get the connection object, okay, and create the statement object. Yeah, where we can keep under static block. If you keep under static block, when the student class is loading, by that time all these four lines, okay, driver class will be loaded and it has been registered with the driver manager, and after that connection object also will be ready and statement object also will be ready. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So by using statement object, what we need to do? We need to create one select query, okay, SQL query, and you need to call execute method, okay, and finally you will get result set object. So these things where we need to keep, we will keep under application specific logic. Understand? So like after that, under one method or something you will keep. But this common logic where we can keep, guys, under static block.
Static.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the one more area where we can use static blocks. Hope you people understand where we can use static blocks. Okay. Now, yeah. So how many static blocks we can create, guys? How many static blocks we can create?
One.
Okay. No. In In one Java class, we can create many number of static blocks. Okay, in one Java class, we can create many number of static blocks. Okay, so all the static blocks will be executed top to bottom. The same thing, guys. Already we discussed while discussing instance block, right? For
Yeah.
instance block also we can create many number of instance block under one Java class. All the instance block, how they will execute from top to bottom.
Top to
In the same way, static block also we can have multiple. All the static blocks will be executed from top to bottom. Clear?
clear.
Okay. So now, here what? Let me write one example. Not example. So where we can use static blocks. Okay. So now, after loading database, after loading database driver class, okay, we have to, come on guys, we have to register that driver class with driver manager. Okay. Right. So for that, every database driver class contains static block. Okay, to perform that activity. Clear? Right. So, hence what happened here? Hence, at the time of driver class loading, automatically, what happened? At the time of driver class loading, automatically static block will be executed. Static block will be executed. Okay, which is responsible for what? Which is responsible? Tell me, which is responsible for registration process? Okay. Right. Hence, we are not required to write. Okay. Or we are not required to perform what, guys? We are not required to perform this activity explicitly. Explicitly. Okay. Okay. Class. Let's suppose this is a driver class. In the driver class itself, there is a static block. Under static block, they will what, guys? Register the driver with driver manager. Okay. Register the driver with driver manager. So this is the logic. Okay, they will keep under where? Static block. Okay, under driver class. For each and every database, there is a driver class, right? So under driver class, they will keep one static block. Under static block, they will keep what? This logic. Register the driver with driver manager. Understand or not?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, here see, after loading database driver class, we have to register the driver class with driver manager. That is the second step, right? But for that, every database driver class contains what? Static block to perform that activity. Hence, at the time of driver class loading, automatically static block will be executed, which is responsible for registration process. Hence, we are not required to perform this activity explicitly. Okay? To register the driver class with driver manager, who will take in care? Driver class itself. Under there is a static block. there in the static block, they will write this logic. So that's what, as a programmer, we no need to register the particular driver class with the driver manager. Directly we can what? If you call driver manager dot get connection means it will give you the particular database connection object. Okay. Why they will give? Because already the driver manager under the driver class already has been registered with the particular driver manager. Clear? Hello?
Yeah, clear. Yeah, clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the one example. And one more example, what guys? At the time of Java class loading, the corresponding native libraries should be loaded. Hence, this activity we have to define inside the static block. Understand? We just rewrite each and every predefined class. If you see the predefined class, under there is a static block. Under static block, what they are doing? They are loading native libraries.
Native.
Okay. So where they are keeping under static block. Why they are keeping under static block? Means while loading that particular class, the static block will be executed. Right? At the time of class loading only, the required libraries, the required native libraries, what is required to, okay, to use in that particular class, automatically those libraries are also loaded into the JVM memory. Clear?
Yeah.
Hello? That point also we discussed. Am I right or not?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So understand when we will use static block. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to perform any activity, guys, if you want to perform any activity at the time of class loading, okay, those activity where we need to keep under static.
Static block.
Okay. At the time of class loading itself, we need to do something. Okay. So where we need to keep those kind of logic here under static block only. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Clear?
Yeah, okay.
Right. So let's suppose I have one more requirement, guys. See, I will tell you. Let's suppose I have a student class. Okay.
Okay.
Now my student class wants to interact with database. Okay. So now
Okay.
wants to interact with database means what? I have a 120 students. I have to insert this 120 students records into database. Right. So where we can insert?
Okay.
Where we can insert in database means definitely there should be one table. Right?
Yeah.
There
Okay.
should be student table. So now, so before inserting these 120 records into student table in database, what we need? Definitely we need what? One student table.
Create.
So without student table, how can we insert? Am I right or not? So now for the student class, right? After loading student class, then only we can create the objects of student class or not. 120 students objects I have to create. How can we create? Before that, the particular student class has to load into JVM memory. Am I right or not? Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Now, in the student class, just take static block. Under static block, just write a logic to create a table. Understand? In the static block, just write a logic to create a student table for Oracle database. Understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
The logic where we will keep under static block. So now, when you load the particular student class, what will happen?
Student table.
Student table automatically created because static block will be executed when the static block will be executed at the time of class loading only static block will be executed. So once the static block started executing in the static block, what is the logic you have put? What is the logic we are putting? So create a student table in the database. So that is the logic we are placing. Now when the time class is loading, by the time automatically the student table automatically created in the database. Right? So after that, what we are doing? We are creating objects of student class. Now, first of all, I will create first object. After creating a first object, what I need to do? I need to insert this object to database. Right? I can insert, right? Because automatically student table already ready. Right? At the time of class loading itself, student table automatically available in what? Database software. I can happily insert the particular record into student table. Hello?
Yeah.
Am I right or not?
Yeah.
No.
guys.
Yeah, yes.
మనం రాష్ట్ర సార్ మనం
Okay.
ఇలా
Yeah. So that is the one kind of I mean requirement. At the one more requirement we will see. Let's suppose at the time of class loading. Okay. Now I have student class. In my student class, what I want to do? I want to
Student data.
retrieve the student data. Okay. In student class, I want to retrieve the student data.
Student.
Right. So in order to retrieve the student data means what we need at the time of class. Okay. I mean, see, once we created the student class, when once the student class is loading, so by that time, what we need in the student table, we need what? Student data. Let's suppose we have under student records. This under student records, where it is available?
Database.
Under student table. Okay. Under student table, this under students data has to be available. Am I right or not? If it is available, then my student class, I can connect with that particular database, and with that particular table, I can retrieve all the students data. If data is available, then only I can retrieve, right?
Yeah.
Hello, am I right or
Yeah.
not? So
Yeah,
now,
Yes, sir.
now at the time of class loading, okay, at the time of class loading, I mean student class loading. So by that time, what I need to do? See, initially the student table is empty. We don't have any data in the student table. But at the time of class loading only, okay, I need to insert few data. I mean student, this 100 records data into where, guys? Under student table. So where I can keep that logic now? Under static block.
Static block.
Static block of what? Student class. So now in the static block, if I insert this 100 records data into student table at the time of class loading, now the student table contains what, guys? This 100, okay, students data.
Data.
Now at the time of class loading means what? When the student class is loading, by that time what? I can have what? This 100 students data
Student
into the student table. Am I right or not?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So after that, what will happen? Once class is loading, so after that what? JVM will call.
We can
JVM will start executing from a main method, right? In the main method,
Yeah, main
I will
method.
call one method. Okay,
If you
like get student info. That is the method I'm calling. Okay. Now in the get student info of student class, what I'm doing? I'm retrieving this 100
Data
student data
from
from the student table. That logic where I will keep under get student info method. Clear,
Yes.
everyone?
Yeah, clear.
Everyone understand when we will use static block? This is what one more scenario, guys. So like that, guys. See, if you think, okay, we need to perform some activity at the time of class loading. So that activity where we need to keep under static block. Any activity. So that is based on your requirement, based on your business requirement. At the time of class loading itself, if we want to perform any activity, that activity we need to keep under what? Static block. Then automatically at the time of class loading, okay, this activity will be executed. Clear? So before creating instance of that class, okay, the particular logic will be executed. Now it is ready for serving. Hope you people clear what is static block means.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
So you
sir.
can create any number of
Yes, sir.
static blocks, guys. If you can create any number of static blocks, here what? This is one static block, right? So in the same way, I'm creating one more static block here. Let me do a few things now, removing these three. So this is what? Second static block. This is what? Let's suppose first static block. Okay. How many static blocks we have? 2 static blocks we have, right? So now if I execute run as Java application, see, first static block execution, second static block execution. So we can have multiple static blocks, right?
Yes.
Okay. All the execution will start from what? From top to bottom. Okay. So let me put, understand or not? Everyone,
Understand.
top to bottom. See, first static block execution. Next one, second static block execution. Okay. So before main method, which block is executing now? Static blocks are executing. See, after main method execution, see here.
Yeah.
Before main method, static blocks are executing, guys. Hello. If someone will ask interview, hey guys, okay, I don't want to execute main method. Okay, but I want to print something in console. Understand? So actually, from the where the execution will start, from the main method. Okay, but so here the interviewer asking, okay, I don't want to execute main method. So before executing main method, I want to print something in console. How can you do?
Yeah.
Where we have to put under static block, right?
Yeah.
Before main method, static blocks are executing or not?
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't want to execute main method. So what you will do under static block here? See, let's suppose I have two static block, right? Which static block will execute last? Second static block. Here I'm putting what? System dot exit of 0. I'm putting what? System dot exit of 0. So now what will happen? You know, now run as Java application. See output. First static block execution, second static block execution. After that, what I'm doing here? I'm manually
Exiting the
I'm
static
making
block.
system dot exit of 0 means what? I'm killing JVM, guys. I'm shutdowning JVM.
Yeah.
If you call system dot exit of 0 means what? The JVM itself will be shut down, guys. Okay. First static block is executing. Second static block is executing. Okay. After that, what it has to execute? The main method has to be called. So before calling main method, what I'm doing? I'm killing the JVM. Understand? By keeping system dot exit of 0. So JVM itself has been shut down now. So that's what main method will not be executed. Am I right or not? Clear, everyone?
Yeah. Yeah. Clear.
Understand what I told? What I'm saying here?
Yes.
Okay. So now see, first static block execution, second static block execution. So this is the answer you have to tell, guys. If interviewer
Yeah.
asks,
Okay.
hey boss, I want to print something into console, but main method should not be executed here. If someone asks like that, okay, you have to write the logic here like this. Clear, everyone?
Yeah. Clear.
Yes, sir.
What about remaining people? I want answer from everyone, each and everyone here who joined.
Yeah, yes,
Not only one or
Yes,
two.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the way, guys. So like this we can do. Okay. So if someone asks, without using main method, it is possible to print some statements to the console means what you guys say?
We can use static block.
What do you guys say? Yes, we can print by using static block. Okay. After static block, at end of the static block, you have to keep what? System dot exit of 0. If you put system dot exit of 0 means what? The main method will not be executed. Okay. Main method will not be executed, and you can see some statements in the console. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And some things also we have and static, for while creating static variable. Okay. So we will see those things while discussing static flow execution. So there is a instance flow execution and static flow execution, right? So by that time, we will see a few more other points on the static phase. So I think hope you people understand what is static block here.